Sucks for Chris Daukaus, but great win for Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Jairzinho Rozenstruik needed a big win like that, and it was one of his coolest wins ever. It was very similar to his win over Alan Crowder. I think he jabbed him unconscious too. I don't know if Daukaus was even unconscious here, but point is, he got it done in like 20 seconds, and it started off with a jab. Jairzinho Rozenstruik is one of the hardest strikers in the division, and Chris Daukaus has one of the weakest chins in the division. I think some of those guys that Chris Daukaus beat on his way up to fighting Derek Lewis and whatever inside the UFC, I think they could take him out. Not to say he's beneath them, but I think he's hurt himself overall. He's a lesser fighter than he was, even if he's still, the same functional athlete and whatever. He hasn't dropped at all athletically or physically with age. Now, I make it sound like he's been fighting for 20 years. Those wins were just like a year and a half ago. But still, despite only being a year and a half removed, I think he's a worse fighter because his chin has been compromised. And again, he's only lost to really good fighters, Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. But those are two really hard hitters, even Blades. And they, I think, did permanent damage here, in a short time. 3 knockout losses, even with a little bit of recovery time and whatever, and, taking care of yourself. It's still 3 knockout losses. At the very least, it's 3 concussions. It's definitely taxing on you. And I'm a believer in the chin gets worse, despite Arlovsky having a dog shit chin for 20 years and still somehow surviving. But Chris Daukaus was a better fighter a few years ago. Now he's worse for the wear. And Jairzinho Rozenstruik, I didn't like the way he looked against Volkov. That was, a unique opponent, though, clearly. And everyone else on the feet, aside from Cyril Gane, Rozenstruik's got something for him. And Ngannou, of course. But Rozenstruik is one of the best strikers, definitely has the power. He's got deceptively good technique. And, man, does he throw a nice leaping left hook. That was very similar to how he knocked out Overeem. I think Joe Rogan said that. But it was like the same punch, a leaping left hook. Only this was, 2 seconds into the fight instead of 2 seconds left in the fight. In a 5-round fight, which is, that was just an awesome finish. But regardless, it was a nice win. He did what he needed to do. But it's a win that I don't think will get better with age. I think it'll get worse with age. And I think Chris Daukaus' chin is only going to get worse with age. He's got to take a step back, and he's got to fight someone that isn't going to crack like these elite fighters are. And Chris Daukaus maybe needs to take a few fights like that. I think his days at the top are done, and at this point, he's got to prolong his career because that's a guy that left the police department with like 10 years of service under his belt a year ago. Maybe it was 8 years or 12 years. I don't even know. But either way, he left behind a career here, and he did it in pursuit of greatness. And it's like the second he did that, everything turned to shit for him. Now he's got 3 losses in a row, consecutive knockout losses. And again, I think he's worse for the wear. So I hope he gets his shit together, and I hope he prolongs his career. And to whatever extent he's able to do it, I hope he's able to find some easier matchups, to be a little more discriminant. But anyway, he went for it. I got to give him that, and didn't pay off. And Rozenstruik reminds everybody that he's that damn good and that damn powerful at the very least. All right, like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.